Let's welcome to the stage the creator of the Game Awards, Geoff Keighley.
So, 2025 and the game shows have been and they've gone. So what games am I looking forward to? What games were announced that look great? I've got about 5 games I really think deserve a good look at, and then a few honourable mentions in the Game Fest. Also, the Xbox show was pretty good, so I'll mention a few of them games as well. So the first game on my list is a game called Ill, that's ILL, and it's from the developer called Mundfish. Now you might know them from bringing out a game called Atomic Heart, which came out a few years ago. The trailers for that game looked amazing, and then the game was good, but it wasn't as good as the trailers. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be a bit cautious with this one, but the trailer does look amazing. They're showing off some really fantastic damage modeling, which I've been looking forward to in games since technology started to move on a bit. So you're seeing zombies like have their arms blown off and react as in like, oh, that arm's gone now, I'll have to do something differently. So yeah, I mean, I like the way one of the zombies as well is like moving through the room and like its head's banging into the lighting above it. So if it's as good as this, and if this is actually the game and this is how it plays and the damage model is as good as it looks, then yeah, we're in for a treat with this one.
Let your body settle into a slower rhythm.
So I think I miss E3 actually. These days all we've got is Game Fest and Gamescom, but I think E3 always felt a bit more like powerful, a bit more grand, a bit more like there was just something bigger going on. Game Fest, I mean, Geoff Keighley does his best. He does an okay job. This year I thought it was a bit down. But the big game I was looking forward to was Arc Raiders, because a lot of people were speculating this game would be shadow dropped. Now, I think, to be fair, a lot of people had a good reason for this. There was an executable that came online for like 9 minutes, and after it came on Steam, there was a countdown timer people had found, which coincided with the start of Game Fest. So naturally, people assumed that the game would be shadow dropped in either an early access or maybe an open beta, and so, yeah, even maybe a release. And so I was really looking forward to trying this game because I didn't get into the last beta. But the actual game itself looks fantastic. It looks like one of the best extraction shooters we've ever seen. Stellar graphics, really good art direction, like a very retro feel to it. And then I think the best part about the game so far, apart from the graphics, is the sound design. Sound design that really enhances the gameplay experience by making sure you can hear what's going on. You can hear people rummaging through like stuff. And yeah, I cannot wait to try Arc Raiders when it comes out. So yeah, looking forward to that.
No justice, no peace, just names on the wall. The hunt isn't over. Not until I kill them all.
Next game on my list is a game called Act of Blood, and immediately it's giving me Sifu vibes. If you've not played Sifu, that's a very technically competent, like a brawler, where you go through different stages and different sections and use all kinds of different combat maneuvers to fight enemies. There's no guns. Now this one, it does actually have the odd gun here and there in the trailer, but like Sifu, it predominantly seems like it's an action game with melee combat, weapons, and where you're using your environment as well to kind of like, kick people off rooftops or use boxes and all that kind of stuff. It looks fantastic. I mean, the trailer speaks for itself, short and sweet. I'm very much looking forward to trying this one.
Bad dot line.
As I might to call their advance. 'Twas all for naught.
Chrono Odyssey. This game, I saw it 2 years ago on a trailer. There's a part in the trailer where somebody's walking up a field, like very calmly walking through a field in like a suit of armor, and the grass is blowing in the wind, and the trees are all blowing, and it looks amazing. And then when someone says, "Oh, this is an MMO," it's like, really? I mean, MMOs can be good looking, but normally MMOs don't have that type of like graphical strength. So yeah, I've been looking for a good MMO now for a long time. I'm like, I played WoW back in the day, played games like Wildstar, games like Guild Wars 2, and I'll be honest with you, I'm missing good MMOs. A lot of my friends and myself are waiting for Ashes of Creation. That seems to be taking a long time to come out. So when I saw this was coming out, and it looks good, the graphics look amazing, the boss fights look incredible. Some of the bosses we've seen just look absolutely massive, and they're well animated and look fun to play. There's actually a playtest due for June the 20th, I think till the 22nd as well. So yeah, go and sign up for it and maybe get into that and give the game a try. But yeah, one to look forward to, definitely. I think one of the most overused game bad guys in gaming is definitely the zombie. The zombie is everywhere, and I think there was a phase about 10 years ago where just, yeah, we were getting a bit like saturated with zombie games, even like if they were good. But I mean, there's a reason for that. They're so diverse in the way you can use them in games. And so when I think it was 2015 when the first Dying Light came out, that game was just utterly fantastic. We played it, kicking people off, kicking people, kicking zombies off roofs, hacking into pieces. The game just felt awesome, and the parkour was almost like Mirror's Edge, where you were running from rooftop to rooftop, clambering up, and you had a good flow going, and you got better and better as the game went on. Yeah, that game was, I think I called it one of my favourite zombie games ever, and I think it still is, to be fair. The second game, I wasn't that keen on it. I thought it well, I don't know what it was. It was just maybe the story, or it didn't feel as good as the first one. So I'm really hoping this one, the third full game, The Beast, is we see Kyle come back to the fray, and he's pissed off, obviously, and he's obviously out for revenge and trying to find out what happened to him in the lab, and it looks good. Yeah, from the trailer, I can see elements of the first game that I really do like. The parkour seems like it's back on track. The combat seems a bit more, dialed in, and I really hope they nail this one. I really do, because, like I said, the first game is one of my favourite zombie games of all time. So definitely one to watch. I'm looking forward to reviewing this one.
Then I'll go there and fucking kill him.
So those are the 5 games I wanted to point out to people from the fest. Obviously there was quite a lot more than that, and there are 2 others I just wanted to point out quickly, like honourable mentions. One of them is called End of the Abyss. It looks like a twin stick shooter, but like less action and more kind of creepy vibes. The creatures you kind of come across actually reminded me about the creature in the end of, not Inside, was it? Oh yeah, it was Inside, yeah. Like a creature made of like flesh and molten flesh bits, and yeah, like The Thing. It looks pretty damn good, and yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on. So this is the other game I wanted to have a look at. It's called Mixtape. Now I'm keeping the audio down because I don't want to get copyright struck. There are a lot of different bands and music in this one from the 1980s, and that's one of the reasons why it captured my attention. This game looks like a real homage to like that whole era. I grew up back then, like VHS tapes, Walkmans, the whole kind of like, thing about living in the 1980s. There's a reason why people look back and nostalgic, because it was awesome. But yeah, this game looks like it wants to capture that whole feeling of living in that time, being young, and like going off with your mates for the last time. And yeah, I just hope the the actual gameplay can hold up as well as the graphics and the audio can. Some of the great gameplay sequences look a bit wishy-washy, like you're not really sure what you're doing. So yeah, I hope it's got some gameplay fun to be had as well as the actual, aesthetics. But yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing this one and keeping an eye on it.
Breaking news. There's been an explosion at Brook Hollow Park. Chaos descended on a ceremony commemorating the 2-year anniversary of when 4 teenagers were miniaturized against their will and left to fight for their survival in the backyard of a deranged scientist.
So the original Grounded was, I think it was released in early access in 2020 and then hit 1.0 in 2022, so like a 2-year cooking period, which is pretty decent. So this is a game about 4 kids that get shrunk down into, miniature. So now ants look like lions, the size of lions, or ladybirds look like the size of buses. And they end up in a back garden, and they have to basically use their skills. They have to craft, they have to build, research, and find their way across the garden and find out what happens to them. I played this game co-op with a few friends, and we absolutely loved it. I never actually finished the first game. We ended up having to stop the playthrough. But at some point I do fully intend to finish the game. I was really surprised to see Grounded 2 actually. I mean, Obsidian have been so busy the last couple of years. I don't know how they've found time to do all what they've done and also work on this. It looks like it's pretty much solid in place. They just have to work on the different chapters like they did last time. It's due to actually come out next month on early access on Steam and other sites. So yeah, I'll definitely be jumping into this one and seeing what they've got to offer and then watching it progress. A lot of the assets look like they've lifted them over from the original game. They might have jazzed up the graphics, here and there, but I mean, they'd be daft not to use the assets from the first game, and and maybe that's why they've got going so fast. But yeah, definitely one to watch.
Zafar, did you get a signal?
After the large haul down this corridor, they shut down this part of the facility. Long time before our arrival. Fine. Let's deal with those guys first.
In Yolota. They never look up.
This one is called The Expanse: Osiris Reborn. Now, I'm not going to profess to know about the series. I've never watched it, although now I might actually sit down and watch the series because it does look interesting. This game reminds me a bit of, it's got Mass Effect vibes. The CGI trailer, which I'm showing you right now, looks great. Lots of nice details, lots of nice hints towards how gameplay is going to work. And yeah, obviously it's going to live and die by how the gameplay evolves. But yeah, I like this story from what I can see. I had a quick read online on what it's all about, and this is set within that universe. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out.
What the hell happened here? Hey, buddy.
So last but not least, this is a game called Blood of the Dawnwalker, and immediately got my attention just because it's vampires. I love vampire games as long as they're done well, and I don't think we get enough vampire games. The The last big vampire game I played was V Rising, which is exceptional. If you haven't played it, definitely go and play that. But anyway, back to this game. This is from some ex-Witcher developers, and you can definitely see that within the visuals. And it also feels like a bit like there's a bit of like Shadow of Mordor in that somebody's got like a cross between like their old self and like a new set of powers. I think the general idea is this guy has been transferred into a vampire, but he's not fully turned, so he can walk around in the daytime, but then has the powers of vampires, and seeks to, you know, like destroy the people that made him what he is. The visuals look amazing, like in terms of like the art direction. I think some of the combat looks a little bit clunky or a little bit static, but I mean, it's not finished yet, is it? So we'll have to see what happens. I just hope they make a good job of it, because in terms of actual style, this game's got, you know, bags of it. So yeah, one to watch.
Okay.
And there we have it, guys. Those are the games I think you should be checking out from this year's game shows. Obviously, there is lots of games I haven't mentioned. I'll just run off a few quickly. There's one called Planet of Lana 2. Definitely worth checking out. The first game was exquisite. You know, really nice animations and a really nice story. There's a game called Herdling, definitely worth a look at. Did laugh at the Deadpool VR game. Looks kind of funny. I've mentioned End of the Abyss. Let's see. Mafia Old Country. The trailer looks great. I'm just, you know, I want to see more gameplay before I decide on that one. So yeah, there's definitely a few games I would have liked to include, but I'm just, you know, I don't want to make the video too long. So yeah, let me know what your games were, guys, what your favourites were, what you're looking forward to, and thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate it. A like would be very appreciated, and if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. I'll catch you on the next video, guys. Take care. Bye.